We're going to talk about the heavy rain flash flood potential over the next couple of days, and then the possible development of a tropical system in the Gulf that could impact us late in the week. Just a quick summary of the main points. We are expecting periods of heavy rain through tomorrow with some breaks in between. Some of our model guidance shows some heavier rains today, and then kind of a little bit of a lull this evening, and then more development overnight and Tuesday morning. So it's not going to be raining straight through the period, but we are looking at periods of heavy rain. We have seen some rain rates today on the order of 2 inches per hour and some of the heavier downpours, and that's kind of the air mass we're in. So those high rain rates, especially when we have storms tracking over one area, can well lead to flash flooding. Flash flood watch is in effect for the coastal 2 tiers of counties. Up till now it's been out till 7 a.m. tomorrow, but that's going to be extended in time through much of the day on Tuesday. And again, we're going to also talk about this, the possibility of a tropical depression, at least, maybe even a tropical storm that could impact us late in the week, and that remains very much uncertain. So this slide indicates the areas of greatest concern for flash flooding. If you look, this is what we call the excessive rainfall outlook, and what you see there is really the coastal parts of Texas on inland a little ways are under a slight risk of flash flood type rains. And then the marginal area extends well inland. So what does that mean? It means for our forecast area, if you look in the lower right, you'll see the counties in yellow are the ones that have the greatest risk for flash flooding, but that there is some risk for flash flooding really for any county in our warning area. In the upper right there, you can see the current area covered by the flash flood watch. And as I said, it's possible the rain will wane a little bit, will let up some, and then kick in again overnight and Tuesday. This is the forecast rainfall and sort of an average rainfall. Looking at, again, higher amounts at the coast, 4 to 6 inches, and then a little bit lesser amounts inland. But I want to really caution that these are average amounts. As you all know, it's very common for us here in southeast Texas to get heavier bands that can generate quite a bit more than what we have sort of on our average amount map. There's some a brand new 24-hour forecast that has just come out from the Weather Prediction Center in the lower right. And again, you can see it's really zeroing in on those coastal counties. So kind of the takeaway message here is that more heavy rain potentially in the next 24 to 36 hours. The heaviest amounts do look to be along and near the coast and a little bit inland, but there is some flash flood risk even well inland. Moving on to the tropical disturbance that the Hurricane Center has been highlighting since yesterday afternoon. They've actually raised the chance of development into a tropical depression or tropical storm now to 30% in the next 2 days and 50% in the next 5 days. And if you look at the frame on the left-hand side there, that orange hatched area, that's the zone where they would expect development or genesis to occur. So what do we mean by that? Basically, we have a fairly disorganized system right now, but it actually looks fairly decent on satellite. It could get a little more organized certainly over the next 5 days, and we could see perhaps a tropical depression, maybe even a tropical storm out of this. And again, just a 50% chance that transformation will occur, so still very uncertain. I know everyone's wondering about how strong the system could be if it were to develop, and that's even more uncertain as far as gauging the intensity of any tropical cyclone that does develop. But the way the Hurricane Center is wording it in their outlook, they're saying a 50% chance of the development of a tropical depression in the next 5 days. Here's a look again at that disturbance, kind of the latest satellite image. You can see it there near the Yucatan, and there is the well on the right hand side down there, and all those thunderstorms there. Just a reading through Tuesday, 3 inches per hour, and if we see that over one area, that's when we would expect to see some flash flooding. So because of that, we do have a flash flood watch in the areas of most concern, essentially 2 tiers of counties closest to the coast. I showed you the watch area earlier. That watch, the forecasters are planning to extend that into or perhaps even through Tuesday, so be on guard for that. Chance of rain each day this week, and one thing the rain that is occurring now could do is perhaps set the stage for issues later on. The soils are becoming saturated, some of the water levels are rising, so this prolonged wet period, we do need to be a little bit concerned about that late week tropical wave as well, or possibly even a depression or storm, and that could bring another round of heavy rain late in the week. As I mentioned, whether it becomes a tropical depression or storm, that aspect is pretty uncertain. Right now, Hurricane Center gives it just a 50-50 chance of that happening. And as I said, that if that were to develop and perhaps into, say, a tropical storm or